things going. Good morning to everybody out there. Just going ahead and getting the shop set up today. Going ahead and get general production started up for the day. Getting some things on the build plate. Getting some things fired off. Hope everybody out there's having a good day. Going to be swapping out glow material, luminescent material we've been previously running. Go back to the standard workhorse everyday PLA. Got a lot of machines to start up, got a lot of parts to go ahead and fire off. Definitely want to go ahead and make sure that we're maintaining those small fulfillment windows that I know people are interested in getting right now. I do know one thing. I feel like when people are buying my stuff, it's because civil unrest has spiked up across the nation, right? Depending on where you look at it, I think people are a little bit more nervous than they were in 2025 socially. So for whatever reason, my sales have picked up, and we're going to go ahead and get these things fulfilled. Hopefully keep nobody waiting and everybody with those short fulfillment windows. Try to do stuff same day. Just kind of priming the extruder. GB Outdoors, welcome. Great to see you, dude. All right. And then kind of just move over here. It's nice to be untethered so far. I have my full battery charged up so I don't have to be stuck on one machine here. Go ahead and get the red material out of this machine that we were running previously. Once again, just switch it over to the standard fresh kilo workhorse PLA material. You seen that Washington? Oh no, I did, dude. Yeah, I did. It's a complete overreach, complete overreach. But you know what? That's the beautiful thing about how I've actually built my own company. I knew it. I knew it that there was gonna be like some really stupid legislation that was gonna come down the line one day. And it all stemmed from a conversation that I was having with a friend. Like, you ever think you'd have to have like a federal license just to own a machine shop with like a mill and a lathe? And he was like, dude, that is the absolute most conspiracy theory I've ever heard in my life. But now they're talking about they want hard protocols on the firmware of 3D printing machines. That's real close to CNC machines, which is real close to machine shop. So eventually I think what they're trying to get to is a point where everything is either licensed and watched or illegal. That's basically what they're trying to get to. A period of Wild West has kind of been upon us for the last 10 years or so. And the government finally is getting involved in massively overreaching ways. Let's go ahead and get these first two fired off. Why keep them waiting? Batch print 1, printer 4. Scroll down the list. AEA Megalodon Magazine. There she is. Oh yeah. All right. And hopefully these machines fire off in short order. Next machine down the line, we're actually going to be running finally, this is the 58 caliber ones. Actually, I'm running a ton of machines today. We're gonna be running a ton of machines today, guys. Welcome to every single person in the chat. Air Power, welcome. Tony, welcome. THV, welcome. We're gonna be rocking and rolling. We got some 50 cal Megalodon magazines on this batch of printers. Next door, we're gonna go ahead and fire off a red harpoon butt pad for a client that's gone ahead and pick that up with his harpoon setup. And then we'll probably go ahead and set the final printer up in the batch to the left of us here with that same Megalodon mag on the first 3. Starting to get some life out of them. Just go ahead and keep on preheating the rest of the machines. Oh yeah, no, definitely. GB Outdoors, definitely. The harpoon is really, really cool. And it's cool that Jim is carrying my stuff too. I really like it because more and more vendors are starting to go ahead and actually carry my products. And as like a small company, being able to get in with big vendors like Jim at Texoma, getting my stuff across the pond into the European market, being carried by Bintac, being carried by Fox Air Power, being carried by, you know, some big name vendors. That's kind of a feather in my cap, and I can't be prouder to do so. It's always good to go ahead and do like the independent, self-reliant website, but inside of that, being able to get to the mainstream vendors where I'm on their website too, it feels cool, feels cool. Do go check those guys out. Once again, Fox Air Power, Bintac LLC, a lot of guys out there. Jim and Texoma for sure. Go ahead and chop open the next kilo. Each one kind of comes with this inside of it. I save these, I toss them in ammo boxes. The airgun community is amazingly cool. Everybody has each other's back. It's not what it seems. When you get really deep into it, you'll find out that it's actually kind of very much like all independent game based. But like before you get too close to it, it's a really cool industry to be a part of. Definitely as an industry that's tried to destroy me multiple times, I would just say that it's only so cool, and it's built off of sketchy pretenses. But in general, most people like do come into the community meaning well. We've met some really cool people. Okay. Next machine. Printer 3. I'll come back down here. Take a look here. Printer 3 is rocking and rolling. It's cool because this one pad can actually like run every single thing, you know what I mean? I really like it. These are all independently originally drawn designs, and these are all on one pad, so it makes it easy to fire the farm off. Now we got this guy starting up. Yeah, I found out about you and your products from Fox Air Power, along with the videos of you shooting the harpoon with the yellow stock. That's cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. I think a lot of people have seen that yellow stock video. Honestly, that video did significantly better than I ever expected it to. When I'm editing, I usually just drink a big cup of matcha and start hitting the keys and clicking the clicks, you know, and all of a sudden a production comes out of it, and that's what happened that day. And it was kind of a cool video, in my opinion, but people seem to really like it that much more. I'm really happy with how that one performed. All right, I'll go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do with machine 3. Machine 3 is gonna be the red butt pad. harpoon. That is the one thing about keeping all the files on one pad, that when you get 46 million files on one pad, you do have to scroll into oblivion to be able to find your stuff sometimes. And right now I'm looking for this harpoon butt pad, it's hard to find. Oh, there it is. All right, cool, sick, here we go. Rad. GB Outdoors. Hey, really carried the AEA harpoon with that stock. Same for Jim, making that thing look like, you know what? I appreciate that, dude. The harpoon stock is the #1 single most popular thing I have ever done as a company, and I really, really do appreciate that. Kermage, do you use a dryer? No, no dryer. Dude, you know what I figured out about 3D printing is a lot of this stuff is just marketed to 3D printers so that 3D printing companies can sell it to you. It's exactly like the fucking gold rush in the sense that Levi Strauss got rich because he sold pants to miners. The miners needed the pants, but you know, a lot of other stuff that they bought out there to find gold with, they probably didn't actually need. So I never use a dryer. I never have pops and pits in my prints, and I'm pretty. What's my humidity? I don't know. All my batteries are dead on all my humidity meters. That's how little I care about it. But I'm telling you, man, for me personally, it's even when it was raining heavily and it was like 65-70% humidity, I've never had an issue with filament drying, and I think it's kind of like an industry scam, if I'm honest. Let's look at it. Over here. Surface finish is good, totally undried filament. Super rad. Super rad. Alright. We do have our red rubber harpoon butt pad starting to cook off here. Very cool. Very good material. Nice shade of cranberry red there. Matches the harpoon cartridges really good. And all that stuff just kind of rock and roll. I'm not like hella good at it yet, but I'm getting better at this tripod thing. I just got to keep at it. Once you figure out the settings, you can make prints look amazing. I agree with that. Kind of walk you guys down the line here. It's not all like, you know, white monsters and hookers here in the 3D print life. There's actually problems you can run into. As you can see, I've run into problems on this one. I let stuff cook overnight just so that I can take advantage of the time that I have while I'm sleeping. And sometimes I finish. Sometimes it don't. So you hope for this. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. I was telling a customer, oh, AK Seminole, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Good to see you in the chat, guy. I was telling a customer about 24 round T9 MACABESPEED, and I didn't know they were available yet. They are not yet, but I do have one chilling right here, actually. Believe it or not, I have one chilling right here. Pretty slick. Garrett Gallant, welcome. GB Outdoors, you like that? You like that? Thank you, my guy. Thank you. You guys are my live stream like early crew. I got confirmation that that shroud around the T9 barrel is absolutely pressurized to 4,500 psi. So I'll be making a follow-up video now that I've gotten confirmation both from the factory as well as like just sussing it out with my own tools, with my own knowledge, and with the experimentation that we've done. That shroud does hold 4,500 psi. It should have a bash guard of sorts to protect it because it is a pressure vessel, and I'll be making a video on that as well. They're gonna send me a new shroud since mine is already damaged, and I was like, I didn't know this was a pressure vessel, and I didn't treat it like a pressure vessel, and it's got a big gouge in it. Can I get a new one now that I know it's holding pressure, please? And they're like, yep, no problem. So they're sending that out. Once I get that new shroud in, I'm gonna go ahead and make the update video for you guys, and hopefully you'll everybody will learn something along the way. Okay. You know what? I don't know if it helps with barrel stabilization or not. I was just kind of horrified because I knew mine was damaged, and I was like, if it's not supposed to pressurize, isn't that the same thing as like, I can't even say that on stream, they'll probably end the stream if I say that phrase. But it would seem like it would be quite volatile if it's not supposed to hold pressure and it was holding pressure. So I'm glad I got clarification. Oh, that fan, very noisy, kind of noisy. What do you set your bed temp at? TPE nozzle, TPU nozzle should be what, 220? I go for my TPU settings. Here, I'll show you. My TPU, it's really smooth, super smooth. I like it a lot. This is a 209 degree bed with a 60 degree bed with a 209 degree nozzle. So it's laying out nice, slick, smooth, clean. Comes out like this. Should be nice. just like that, we've gone ahead and staged up the next few machines. We're gonna run a harpoon stock, and we're gonna be 58 cal Megalodon magazine, 58 cal Megalodon magazine as well here. Starting to get going. Run things off for the day. As far as I remember, the T9 shroud as part of the air plenum system helps to smooth out the airflow into the chamber, considering that it's an airflow through the valve as a restriction point. It's cool. The tube sticks out under the T9 as well. Yes, that's correct. Cool. Set up. We are once again back watching the original print that we did start initially, very first and foremost. This is about 20 minutes into an AEA Megalodon 50 caliber air rifle magazine. I do have multiple devices. That's a great question. GB Outdoors, do you have multiple phones or do you use everyday phone for the lives? I am kind of a hoarder when it comes to phones because I don't know how to like 100% fully wipe all my data off it, right? And I don't want like somebody else to be able to have access to my pictures of my, family or my wife, my kids, whatever the case may be. So instead of like turning phones in, I always keep phones. And so I have like 10 iPhones of different generations. Like I have the original iPhone 3 in my desk drawer, and it got all the iPhones passed out. iPhone 4, iPhone 6. There's an 8 Plus, I think, that my kid listens to music on to go to bed at night. It's just like there's all these different devices, right? And I do keep them. I keep them just for that purpose because, like I said, it's just a privacy concern. I don't know how to fully and correctly wipe them, so I don't ever like turn them over to people. So the phone that we're actually streaming on right now, I'll go ahead and take it one step further. This is an old school, smaller iPhone X. This is one of the first ones that came with that triple camera on the front. It's the iPhone X. And it's been pretty solid. It's a workhorse, absolute workhorse. Battery life is okay. Cameras are pretty decent. And other than being a tiny little phone, it's not bad. Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey, just to be able to stream and then like put the stream on in a background window on my laptop and be editing content or be doing something for my 9-to-5 job or be drawing CAD, the more ways you can multitask yourself, the more ways you will be able to multiply your income. This is the smaller, more manageable size of the T9 extended clip. That's great feedback. AK Seminole says that when he put the Saber Tactical dual carbon fiber blitz adapter on his 7.62 Max rifles, it really restricted it and dropped the output. Sucks. That does suck. They should disclose that. Or they should keep orifices nominal to what the factory gave you so that you don't experience flow restriction. 100% still use Tinkercad. Expensive pay-per-use CAD programs, not the way to go for me. I use Tinkercad and it works with me. I don't know. It's just good for me. All right. .808 Turtle, welcome. Getting it kicked off today. 100%. Getting things rocking and rolling. Welcome to the Conundrum. .1970s water heater. Ready to blow at any minute. Magazine for the Megalodon. Harpoon butt pad. Megalodon mag. Harpoon buttstock. Whenever this decides it wants to do something with its life and warm up, it will also make a harpoon buttstock. 58 cal Megalodon mag, and then once again, whenever this one wants to warm up and do something with its life, it will also make a Megalodon mag. So we have stuff going, but lazy machines today. I don't know why. I mean, it is pretty cold, so they're taking some time to heat up, but it is what it is. Maybe I'm just impatient. All right, guys. I'm gonna go have my morning breakfast of 4 donuts and 2 cups of coffee, and do a little bit of editing. Leave you guys to enjoy the absolute magic of 3D printing. Sorry to cut you off. I got a buzz in my pocket. I realized it's the eBay sound. That eBay sound means I actually made some money, so it instantly like squirreled off my train of thought. But I'm gonna go eat 4 donuts and do some editing and have some coffee. I will be absolutely back to check in on this situation, though, in short order. Enjoy, guys. All right, dudes, checking back in with you. Alexander, welcome. Now, I got something really cool to share with the chat. Most of the chat probably won't care at all. Actually, probably no one in the chat will care at all. But it's cool to me, right? I play trumpet. I like trumpet. I have messed with trumpet in the past. And my kid, I bought her a pocket trumpet when she was way too young to use it, right? But just now, for the very first time, she got her embouchure correct to where she was able to actually blow a clean note through her pocket trumpet. So she's 4 years old, and I'm happy to hear the very first clean, true sound come out of that little trumpet. I'm happy as hell. It's cool. Go ahead and look over here. Got more mag creation. We got shoulder stock, mag, flag, butt stock, mag. Just making people's orders, getting it going. Maybe this is at the wrong angle. Better. Yeah, that's cool. Good. Trying to keep these guys rolling. Once again, we're cooking stuff off for the AEA Megalodon today. AEA Megalodon is a pre-charged pneumatic air rifle. Really cool platform, pump action, powerful, good for hunting. Should be a cool stream. Stick around. I'm gonna take a peek at our twin printer next door. Cooking off some red TPU, looks really good. Go ahead and check in and see what our percentage of progress is. We're at 36% for the harpoon butt pads, about a third of the way through. 2 hours or so to go on that guy. And for the magazine that's sitting in front of you, AEA Megalodon magazine, about 20%. So we got 4 times as long to go, 5 times as long to go as we've already gone. Pretty decently long print. They're just under 6 hours total each. Pretty cool. Printing rubber today. Absolutely super malleable, unbreakable. Pretty cool. It's your thing. TPU. I think I am going to go ahead and grab a solid state drive for you guys and fire off another quiet farm of printers that's slowly chilling over here. Get these guys preheated, get these guys fired off with some more things. If you guys weren't privy to the last couple of long format videos we put out, did find out for sure that that plenum that goes around the T9 is 100% pressurized. It's holding 4,500 PSI if your gun is filled up to that pressure. So I want to go ahead and start a special project down there on the lower level, see what we come up with. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back, boys. I keep all my files on solid state drives because I don't trust anything on the cloud-based anything. That's how they steal your shit, right? Ultimately, I don't know if they do or they don't, but I'm not willing to put original files like that which you see in front of you and that which you see to the left, absolutely gainfully employing myself and taking care of my family, and put that out on like even a private network, you know, a cloud-based network. We don't trust that. So we keep everything on solid state drives. We're gonna go ahead and get another print farm loaded up directly below the one you are currently watching. We're gonna be running a lot of machines today. There's a lot of demand. People are, from what I can tell as far as my own analytics, kind of nervous as far as social unrest, civil unrest is concerned. And business is slightly more busy because of that fact, I think. Let's go ahead and load some files. I'm going to go ahead and start up these shrouds because of the fact that we did find out that the shroud itself on the T9 is a pressure vessel. Here we go with the beeps and boops. That's our guy right there. All right, cool. That's how easy it is. That's how easy it is. Now, there's going to be a preheat cycle on this, so I'll have like a window of opportunity where I'll be able to actually load them with filament and do something useful with them rather than just, you know, empty machines with no filament here. Let's go ahead and fire them off and see what happens. And attack. Go. Yes. If that's not satisfying, just like tapping a key and throwing 3 machines into operation that will help people live better lives, this is cool, dude. I do like this. 3D printing is still like the Buck Rogers technology to me, and I think it's cool as hell. Absolutely cool as hell. Probably go ahead and get some carbon fiber loaded up. People love carbon fiber. Booyaka. Alright. And that black roll right there, does that have a pretty... Nope, that's almost empty. That's going to need to be swapped out. Put this guy over out of frame so that when I step in frame, I don't end my stream. Okay. Let's see, what do we got here? We have enough? We don't have enough at all. Nope. So we go grab a couple of kilos off the shelf. I don't know why this one's not. Yeah. Oh, fuck, that is hot. It is heating up. It's definitely doing stuff. But it's not letting go for some reason. That's funny. Let's see what we can do. A gentle persuader. Got him. Uh-oh. She's trying to start without me. So what we're gonna do here, since we're behind the 8 ball a little bit, it's gonna start to cut my skirt without any filament actually in the machine over here. So I have to kind of catch it on the fly. How do we do that? We just put filament in it. Straighten it out. Push it through. Is it gonna spit a skirt out? Is it gonna do it? You gonna do it? Fucking doing it. Wild. Start it up. All right. Same situation over here. That one we had to gently persuade. Cutting prints. Loving what I'm seeing. Clean up the backdrop a little bit for you guys. Toss these do not eat packs into an ammo can. Put away the gentle persuader. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. Machines are fired off. Go ahead and pop back up to the upper level. I am the absolute worst nightmare of mass production. People like me with 30 to 50 printers are the absolute nightmare of modern mass production, because we'll come in and we'll eat the whole industry up, right? That's basically it, whether it's gold mining equipment or whether it's like, you know, small knickknacks or articulated, whatever. If you have enough machines, you start to build this efficiency through army of machines, not necessarily speed of each individual part. Even though the airgun magazine that's in front of you is going to take approximately 6 hours to create, in that 6 hour time period, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them going right now. So it's basically an average of 1 an hour. And that is the driving factor of how to be efficient with a 3D print farm. It's number of machines, scale of print farm, not speed of machine, because the faster you go, the weaker your parts are. Point blank, straight up. That's why it's slow. That's why I run slow. I like strength. Cheers. Can anybody tell me what's happening to RAM prices? Why is it that 64 gigs of RAM right now is like $500? Please help me understand. Make it make sense for me, because I was like, I just upgraded all my laptops last year to 64 gig machines, and it cost me like $100 a machine to do it. Now I look at it and I'm like, dude, it would take $1,500 today to do the same thing. What are we talking about? If the prices stay like that, it's going to be like the slow death of long format laptop based video editing for people on YouTube, because nobody's going to want to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for a capable video editing laptop. I think you're already starting to see that transition though, with the short format taking over more mobile based stuff. Even with these lives, I'm live on a phone right now, you know what I mean? So they're trying to edge out consumer computing processing and power in the public arena, or private arena, I should say. Let's take a walk down the line, boys. Once again, it's not all white monsters and hookers over here. We are a print farm, and print farms have problems. This one did pretty much fail right out of the gate, and I haven't restarted it yet. But the rest of them are looking pretty solid. Ancient water heater could blow up at any moment. Airgun magazine. Airgun shoulder butt pad with shock absorbing capabilities built right into it. Airgun magazine. Airgun magazine. Airgun shoulder stock. Coffee. Shoulder stock. Airgun magazine. Airgun magazine. Looks good. Give you guys like the best up close view possible here. Whoop. Eventually what you see in front of you is going to be this thing. dropping right back. Oh man, I'm way behind into my chat. I cannot believe that my chat stalled out again. If I touch my screen, it like stays on the same message as opposed to going down with the current chats. What's your favorite airgun? UK Pocket Friendly says, I really like the Bintac T9. It's just pretty. It's a pretty solid machine all the way around for what it is and for what it does. Bintac T9 is pretty good. Ender 3 S1 Pros. That's right. That's right. Jonathan Marks, welcome. Yep, S1 Pros. Have you looked at the Illegal Centauri Carbon? Have not. Have not. But I will go ahead and take a walk down the production line and show you guys what's happening. What is the ambient temperature in that room? Let's take a really close look at the surface finish, which is actually crispy AF, looking absolutely beautiful on that finish actually for TPU. And then the PLA Pro here looking crispy, also really good quality, really good quality. Let me get my Cold War era thermometer and we'll check it out together. That's how cold it is. It's not really that cold. It's like 52 degrees. So rad. We have phones nowadays in the modern world where I could just like ignore people that say scam likely next to their number. That shit is excellent. You know, AI steals a lot of jobs and takes a lot of things away from people, but it does sure screen calls awesome. It tells me scam likely and I'm like, yep, can't wait to miss that. Funny, if I look down my call history, there's like 45 red button missed calls and like one call FaceTime video from my wife recently and then another one from my boss, but everything else, ignore it. Don't care. Must have my temps wrong, my 3D setup. What I'm currently cooking at right now, we are at a 60-degree bed with a 209-degree nozzle. It doesn't really matter if you go 209, 210. People kind of fine-tune it. I just mess with different little tweaks like that. But yeah, 60 and 209, not bad. Add a little flare to our extruder. Magnetic fiber optics. At any time, this water heater could just like let go and completely end me. It's an ancient water heater and pressure vessels are horrifying. So yeah, rolling the dice. Hell yeah. Try to get the best setup here possible. Oh yeah. Not terrible. Do you coat anything? Do you coat the bed with anything for easy removal? No, here's the inside tips on this. What I do is if it's a really critical print that's not running any type of raft or a brim or anything to keep it adhered, I'll use this stuff. Magic Goo is really good for keeping it adhered to the bed. But I'll be perfectly frank, I don't even clean my beds, dude. Don't use a dryer. Don't clean my beds. Never change my nozzle because I use a diamond nozzle. This is what my bed condition currently looks like. ugly. You can see every print I previously put on it. I'm telling you, there's like a whole group of commercial companies out there in the 3D printing space that literally just want to sell you stuff. So if they have like some special bed cleaner or something like that or anything like that, not necessary. 3D printing is a computer controlled glue gun, and especially when you insulate your prints from the actual workpiece with a raft like that, that raft is going to be seeing all of this bed surface and the part will be seeing none of it. And that's going to be consistent. That's going to be consistent 100% over here. I'm just going to peel that raft off, right? Who cares about that dirty ass bed? Just stick the part to the bed, peel off the raft, good to go. Shit is good to go. Absolutely pleased with it. And that's even on a smooth one. That's not even a textured one. That's just a smooth spring steel build plate, rocking and rolling. This one's got a way better shot just because it's to that really strong gold textured powder coat, PEI. PEI build plates work for a lot of stuff for a long time. They've been hard to beat, to be honest. Yeah, hit me up, dude, for sure, for sure. Absolutely hit me up 100%. I think that in general, a lot of people, what they run into is Z-axis offset problems. So what I like to do is I steal a piece of glossy printer paper like this big, and glossy printer paper is like 0.15 millimeters in thickness, and just stick that between your bed and your nozzle, and then you'll get a really solid Z-axis offset like that. And then just like micro adjust it, right? Get down and like look at it as it's laying that first layer down. And if it's like a little bit too high, drop it down 0.5. If it's a little bit too low and it's squishing out too much, looks too flat, bring it up 0.5. So weird. In 2022, late 2022, I started doing this. And now it's 2026. And I've got like way more experience now, but I'm still on the same machines and have yet to outgrow these machines because they are the last of what I consider the good standalone machines. The standalone machines, meaning they don't need Wi-Fi. I could put a SD card in this in the middle of the forest on a generator and it would print. And that off-grid true homestead style printability is what I liked about it. It's also 0.02 millimeter accuracy. So this is like when printers really did start to crest that accuracy threshold of 0.02, and it has dual lead screws on both sides, so you're getting that good true layout of vertical stacking. It's, if we really had to say it, this is peak prepper printers right here. This is literally peak fucking prepper printers, Ender S1 Pros. I eat my own dog food too, right? I take my own advice. I got a lot of these little machines. And they work good. My oldest machine has like, what? Almost 13,000 hours on a machine. I think that's the other thing about it. The 3D printing companies tell you that the machine is only in calibration for 1,000 hours. It's not. These Ender S1 Pros are good. And to have printers in operation for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 hours, maybe it's just one of those like things where they're pushing obsolescence on people to buy new ones. All I know is that these printers are super rad. They're super reliable. Jonathan Marks, are Enders that bad? No, they're good as hell. I love my Enders. I love my Enders 100%. I built an empire off them. Between 2022 and 2026 on Ender 3 S1 Pros, I went from being a sheet metal worker with one job in 2022 to basically like effectively doubling my output by 2026, and I still only have the one job plus my company. People have always praised bamboo. You know, I just don't trust it because I think they can reach out through that Ethernet cable and break your machine. Anybody who's got the ability to touch your files, don't like it. Anybody who's got the ability to add little lines of code into your firmware, don't fucking like it. And it's not even like a legality issue, right? The legality of it says that 100% of the stuff that I do is cool. So it's not like I'm concerned about oversight. It's the intellectual property, which is extremely valuable, that I care about more than the oversight. Because, like, once again, this is all airgun stuff, so it's not like there's anything that's like nefarious going on. But inside of that, in 4 years' time, we've been able to, you know, keep my wife off work 100% of the time and live a decent quality of life just through 3D printing and small business. So I would say that value, I try to protect it at all costs. I just don't trust the bamboo machines. If you're gonna like deal with files that are already out there, like you're gonna get a license for a file that's already in existence, that's a different thing. You could totally do that, and like, who cares if there's access to it? If someone steals that file, it's already out there. It doesn't matter if someone steals that file. But if you put your heart and soul into a file like the file in front of you, I developed this from shapes and voids. It's all me, baby. It's all me. So there was no base file to work off of, and if these files got out, then they would be valueless to me. And that's not the position I ever want to be in, right? I gatekeep hard for that specific reason. I put everything into my work, and because I put everything into my work, I feel it's fair to be compensated. Here's some really good examples of what the finished products can look like off these Ender 3 S1 Pros. Solid, dog. Solid. Looks good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I got that thing dialed in. You are so right, man. I really do try to make sure that I'm making the best decisions, not only hardware-wise, but also slicer settings-wise. So the number one thing that I do with every single machine is this machine right here was purchased for $25, and it was broken, and it was on eBay. I bought the machine. I replaced, I think on this one, I replaced the Z motor, Z stepper motor on that side, and put it back in operation. And I instantly put a diamond nozzle on this machine for another 60 bucks. So for like less than $100 total, I all of a sudden had a dual Z-axis 0.02 accuracy diamond nozzle machine. We're running on a direct drive all metal gear extruder. That's $100 total input. The first file I spun on this machine was like $129 sale, and that instantly got me in the black. I do not like the idea of buying a $600, $700, $800 machine and having to work just to pay it off. I own stuff. So I invest inexpensive, put in sweat equity, and reap rewards in that fashion. I've always been that kind of guy. And the quality really does start with the nozzle. You get the best settings, the best calibration, the best everything, best bed leveling, and if your nozzle is shit, it prints shit. So the diamond nozzles do not degrade. They will hold for tens of thousands of hours. You can transfer them to other machines with no degradation of tip. You know, if you have a machine catch on fire or blow up or break or whatever, fall off a table, whatever it is, it's a recyclable item in your farm, and it is worth the investment of purchasing diamond nozzles. I cannot like stress that enough. You'll get better, stronger prints because of it. Kermit, Alaska, it just really comes down to the flatness, precision of the nozzle itself. layer adhesion between layers, the strength of that layer adhesion is built on how well they are actually fused together. The flatter the nozzle, the better the layers are going to fuse together, the stronger your layer adhesion is going to be, and the cleaner your prints will overall be after they're ironed. That's why when you see this ironing, it's like, damn, bro, it's ironing is like a machined surface. It's because the nozzle that did it is a machined surface as a diamond, right? CNC machined industrial diamond. So 50, 60 bucks for a diamond nozzle, Durazzle, 0.04, 0.06, whatever it is you like to run on your thing. I would definitely, Jonathan Marks, do it once, man. Do it once and do it right. 50 bucks. Throw 50 or 60 bucks at a Durazzle 0.04 or 0.06. You will never change the nozzle again. You will never have downtime from a nozzle going out. You will never have print quality problems from a nozzle being chewed up in the middle of a process. I strongly recommend it. It really is worth it. At the very least, you could save half the money and go with like a ruby one. Let me see if I have one. Oh, the bucket of parts. Oh, here we go. It's right here. Awesome. Sick. Super sick. This one's actually an expensive one. This one's like 80 or 90 bucks for the official Diamondback. But there is no real difference. I've seen quality of print between Diamondback and Durazzle. You can see right away how that machined face of that diamond nozzle just shines. Because of that machined face, you're just getting strong prints out of it. Clean, strong, reliable prints. Kermage, if you can do the laser engraver and cutter, you definitely can do the 3D printing. It's totally transferable. Sometimes you won't be able to find diamond ones because of like supply chain issues, and you could also go with like a tungsten carbide. But don't go with like brass ones or stainless steel ones, because you will forever regret your decision. At least if you print anything abrasive. That's the other reason why I like all Ender S1 Pros, because if I have, it doesn't matter if I have 100 machines, if you have 100 machines but they're all the exact same kind of machine, then that's going to mean that you have very few repair parts you even need. You know, I mean, I have like 2 of each part, takes up a tiny little basket, and I could service like 30 different machines, no problem. I'm gonna try and find a cup of coffee. Enjoy, boys. Let's take a quick peek down the line. About 70% of the way through this recoil pad. Mag, shoulder stock, mag, America. Want to see what other flags I got in my house? Here we go. Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? Jonathan Marks, cool, dude. You know what? Honestly, the tungsten's probably good. I would say one thing, the tungsten is more brittle than diamond, so really do pay attention to your Z-axis offset if you run the tungsten one, because if you drag that nozzle across the bed hard, it might be the nozzle that gives, not the bed. So just be careful with the tungsten Z offset, and other than that, you'll end up good to go. Now, on the other hand, if you do the diamond nozzle move and your Z-axis offset is bad, it's just gonna strip that shit all the way down to steel. It's gonna pull the powder coat off, it's not gonna damage the nozzle, and you're gonna get an ugly scraping sound from your machine. So very cool, very cool. Just the differences between nozzles. Thank you very much, lovely garage, he says. Appreciate it. I'm very grateful for it. I purchased my house in 2019, and if I did not purchase my house when I purchased my house, I wouldn't be able to purchase my house, right? 2019, before the pandemic, was like the only time where I would be able to afford to purchase a home, for sure. Because like even the same house that I live in right now, there's no way I could afford to live in this house today if I had to buy this house today. It's impossible. Couldn't even qualify for the loan. All right, boys and girls, been live for just over 2 hours now, come up with 2.5 hour mark. Let's go ahead and check in on our farm, see how we're doing. Cool. Nice. Is my phone about to die and I'm about to lose my whole stream? Rad. Super rad. Nice. Caught it. Nero, welcome. Do you design everything yourself? Absolutely. I draw every single thing that you see in front of you, whether it's this machine, 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 this machine. All the machines all have my own personal files on them. I don't like using other people's files because I feel like, I don't know, there's always, you know, different ways to do stuff, and I just like to find my own way to a solution of a problem. Typically, I find a good way to a solution of a problem. Here you go. I also think that by doing it yourself, you gain a skill set that's invaluable. Absolutely invaluable skill set. I think for the Zeus stock, I paid like, what, 600 bucks? Something like that. Let's check out some printed rubber. Coming down to the end of it, this one's getting ready to finish up. Carmage was happening. Saved it, brother. Saved it. That's it. There we go. I think he's, at Hunter, I think he's saying oops to the fact that I almost let my stream die. This is how I take it off. Kermit, see it's all chilling. Rip that shit off there. Don't wait for it to get cold. The machine's still pretty warm, pretty warm, pretty warm. But what we're gonna do is now we grab vice grips, right? Vice grips are super friendly. Let me get some real bite on this thing. Rad, dude, rad. Done. Sick. So that machine's now done. Let's see what's going on with it. I'm gonna cut another one though. I mean, it spun good last time. And to prove what I was saying earlier to my friend Kermage, I'm not going to clean the bed. I'm not going to pull anything off of it. I'm not going to do anything to it whatsoever. I'm going to go to my print history and I'm going to smash print again. And hopefully it's just going to start to cut. And we'll all be happy. That's how I like to do it. This machine turned off about 90 seconds ago. Finished cutting this part right here. And we're just going to immediately throw it directly back into surface. We're not going to wipe the surface. We're not going to do anything like that. We're going to let the raft that the part is built on soak up all of the maintenance time that we would normally use for needing like a perfectly sterile build surface. And we're just going to run with it. It's going to go good. It's going to go good. Hey man, just left for a second. Do you design everything yourself? Every single piece, every single component, every single everything. I use Tinkercad and I draw everything from shapes and voids. So, I don't know, it's like the most basic way to do it. But I just like look at stuff, and then when I see stuff, I start drawing the shapes that I see on that item, whatever it is. Like here, let's talk about it. If I was gonna make this, First, I would start with a cylinder. I would make a cylinder, and then I would take a sphere, and I would flatten the sphere out, and then make the sphere a void so I could get this concavity right here. Then I would make another cylinder with another void on top that's a smaller diameter than this top piece to get the threads started, and then create a helix on this piece, and then mesh those together so I could create the threads. It's just all shapes, bro. It literally is just all shapes. You know, this is a square, this is a trapezoid, this is a square, this is a square. If you can see it and you can break it down mentally into geometric shapes, you can make those shapes appear in the Tinkercad, and then the Tinkercad will start making stuff for you. So I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it totally works. I have very slight autism, and it does work with me. Tinkercad free or paid? It's all shit. It is. It really is. How much the aluminum stock cost, Hunter? The aluminum stock was like between $500 and $600. Cutting a clone. Just got finished with this one. You guys are my witnesses here. No surface prep whatsoever. Absolutely cutting down a nice first draft layer. Looking crispy. Godspeed. AEA Megalodon magazine. Are your products bin tax certified, or is that really hard to get? Actually, they are. The entire HP Max line of items for the HP Max pump kit and my magazines are all bin tax certified. And truth be told, I did just send 100 stocks through bin tax overseas, so he definitely does approve of my stuff. It's really cool. It's actually a really cool feeling, right? Because there's like, what, 18 and a half hours required to get one of these stocks done. So 18 and a half hours worth of print. I made 100 of them for his order. So it's like 1,850 total hours of print. And we did it in like 3 days. Four days. It was a lot of printing. That's all I know. We used up like it was the better part of like 70 kilos of filament that was used up in 4 days. It's a lot. It was a lot. We were printing, and I was setting alarms to wake up in the middle of the night and restart print farms that had turned off. How many printers are you running? Around 30. Sometimes there's less, sometimes there's more, but it just depends on like what's going on with the maintenance on each one, but there's a lot of them. Constantly cooking off that airgun life dream. Airgun use only, baby. Chasing that filament pie in the sky, reaching for the golden ring of self-employment. Kermit in Alaska. That's a lot. It is a lot, dog. It is a lot. You know what? When I put in an order for like $2,000 worth of filament to make that whole order happen for that 100 stocks, I was like, dude, it's wild. It's wild. The actual scale that we're working at, people would trip out if they saw the scale that we're working at. But that's the whole reason why we have to have an LLC. That's the whole reason why we have to have full, tax ID numbers. We have a city business license. We have everything required that a business would have, because it is at that point. It is actually scaled to a point where we have to have those parameters in place to legally operate. And ultimately, I'm the kind of person where I like to be in compliance with that kind of thing. I don't like, run and gun, fly by night, and just think that well enough is good enough. It's not. There's certain frameworks that you have to adhere to if you want to do business in the United States, and I like to make sure that all my I's are dotted and all my T's are crossed, so that, I don't have any problems. This is a good way of life for me. It's a Wednesday. It's like 10:50 in the morning. Sitting in my slippers. I'm literally standing here in my slippers and printing on my print farm. So this is a good way of life for me, and that's why it's important that like anything you really value, definitely do prioritize enough to do it legit. Nero says, do you also print other things or just airgun stuff? Airgun stuff, I do gold prospecting stuff. I want to transition into doing car parts. I want to transition. This is going to be a trippy one, right? I want to potentially do like prosthetic scans to where I would make reverse molds for people who have had amputations or loss of limb, and then they send a reverse scan of that limb, and then try and print out a flexible interlock between the prosthetic limb and that person. That's something that's kind of cool. Medical scanning, that's kind of something I'm interested in. Maybe one day I would do like dental scanning so that people do 3D printed teeth models so that they can send them in for full veneers or whatever the case may be. I want to do whatever I can. Kermage, that's the way, man. That's the way. Congratulations, dude. That's the goal. All right, guys. I'm gonna let these prints continue to cook away, and I am going to slap some labels on some boxes and probably make my way to the post office. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. It's a little bit of a longer stream, but as promised, man, this thing's 100% reliable. Cooking away. Spin it to win it, you know? Back in the chat, boys. Back in the chat. Just trying to get stuff boxed up. I do always, just for the quality of the item being delivered for the customer, put stuff in vacuum sealed bags. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what we're packing up today. Went ahead and put together some S45, Bintac S45 airgun magazines for this guy. Went ahead and put together an order. And we're gonna go ahead and do one better than just shipping his order. I don't really like just giving people what they bought. I like to give people more than what they bought. Gift with purchase. Why, right? Why is that? I gift with purchase people stuff because one day I'm gonna die and my stuff is all gonna be given away at an estate sale for fucking pennies anyways, because people aren't gonna realize that stuff I have is super valuable, and they'll be like, oh, $5 for that, and it'll be some expensive item and it's like, you know, $250. So I'd rather just give my stuff away through the mail as people purchase stuff, as opposed to being worm fodder and having my stuff given away on my driveway. So we'll grab this guy a pack of the 45 caliber 457 155 grain Jim at Texoma hollow skirt slugs that go with these airgun magazines, and we'll check them out together before we pack them up for free. Airgun pellets from Jim and Texoma, 155 grain, pretty cool. Hollow skirt. This is the approved ammunition for that Bintac air rifle. Says Nero Investment says what? Full of ideas. I see. You shipping that out to me today? I am absolutely shipping a lot of stuff out today. I have multiple gold plants that I need to ship out. I need to ship these magazines out, and I will get you some tracking number through the DM. Absolutely. How do you price your prints? Based on time or fill? Oh, no. You can't do. Let's talk about this. The Guido Samurai, welcome. Bro, I need a new body on my hats, ugly hats on sortie. I don't actually have that yet. I don't actually have anything for the sortie yet because I don't have a sortie in hand to work with. Nero, back to the question at hand. You asked, how do I price my prints? This is a really, really interesting subject because you have to price your prints in such a way to where you do two things at once, right? You want to fulfill the need. The need has to be fulfilled. So this magazine holds more than the standard air rifle magazine would hold, and that fulfills a need for people. But it's also important that while at the same time you fulfill the need, you also make a living from it, you know? So it's like people look at the filament cost of an item and they're like, oh, well, that's not what the filament costs. You're like, yeah, that's correct. But it doesn't actually take into account the power. It doesn't take into account the ability to produce this, like the location where this is actually taken care of. It doesn't take into account the hours of development in the CAD. There's a lot of value that's not accounted for when you just look at filament cost based on just the materials alone. So I always look at like what the manufacturer retail suggested price is for a similar item and then go south of that. Whatever the similar item is, check out what their price is and then be cheaper than it, right? Be cheaper and be better at the same time. If I could bring a better product for less money than the factory is charging, that's a win. So when I see the 6-round prone to failure Bintac T50 magazines and they're like 50 or 60 bucks, and then I make an 8-round magazine that's like $79, only a few dollars more for, you know, 25% more capacity, people like it. says, I almost want to donate a sorority to you for the cause. It's never been done. I would be interested to do it. I would be interested to do it. I do have high-end scanners. I do have the technology. I got time on my hands. Shit. 100%, 100%. Oh, now look at this. Now here we go. Let's talk about it. We have a major problem, guys. We have an absolute major problem, chat. And this is one of the things that people are never gonna ever understand when it comes to pricing your prints. I'm gonna unplug you from the power cable real quick. Okay, this product right here, this is the AEA Harpoon Huntsman stock. And I typically sell these for like 89 to $100, right? But this printer right here died in its tracks 3.5 hours in. So I've lost 25% of a roll of filament right out of the gate, 100%. This is a dead print just because for whatever reason my printer glitched out. So wasted filament, wasted power, wasted everything. This one will never come to completion, and these are all the things that you have to factor in. If this one does finish, now the margin on this one is half as much because we had to basically print it twice to get one unit out on production. So it's all about scale. It's all about like redundancy. These two are the same. If I was to lose one of these files, I would still have one to sell. Which I did. I did lose this guy and I still have this one to sell. It is basically about the redundancy. And it sucks because you'll never know why. You will never know why. Like this machine just quit for absolutely no reason. I name all my machines. Take better care of stuff you name. And Cole did shit the bed and quit on me. We got through this much. Pop the raft off. Starting to come off. It's tough to do one-handed. Teflon Don. Wade. Christina Leanne. No name up on this guy. This might be a new machine. Run through so many machines, sometimes you miss the process. You got Arlo down on the bottom. Chief. Big Reggie. What's up, Big Reggie? Big Ben. Rudolph. Luca. All air guns. All air guns, all day. Air gun use, baby. How do you decide the names for your printers? I just stand in front of it until something comes to me. Legit, that's how it works. I stand in front of it until something comes to me. GB Outdoors says, I tried printing sabots and my printer just keeps grabbing the raft. No raft. Best way to do sabots, use a textured build sheet and go really heavy on the glue and just go with a skirt. Don't use a raft at all. I named my printers after greatest of all times rappers, so I have Eminem, Slim Cool. Maximum capacity mag you have for the T50, it's going to be 8 rounds, which is going to give you 25% more than the factory. Yeah, no, if I was gonna do a sabot sheet right now, I would just absolutely go dumb on the application for the glue all over this thing. And it's PETG that you're cooking, so you have a little bit of leeway. I would go like 240 degrees on your bed temperature and 240 degrees on your nozzle temperature and like go like fucking 75 degrees on your bed. 75 and yeah, 240-ish, probably come out with some good results. Also, the thing about sabots, do make sure you chamfer, because if you don't chamfer the bottom of your sabot, and have it like work out from a taper, you're going to end up with bad elephant foot, and it's not going to fit the precision bore you're looking for. So do chamfer the bottom of your sabots. You can get a free sabot file also. That way you can like get started in the right direction. This is where you get a free sabot file, MACABESPEED.com. The very top left of the screen, when you hit MACABESPEED.com, there's going to be a drop-down menu. In that drop-down menu, you're going to find a secret little category called Resources. The Resources tab is where you're going to find ready to download, free for everyone STL files for sabots. Tested, working, same shit that's been used on my channel. That's where you're going to find it. Go check it out. No, actually, I have not done any exotic materials like the PA6 or the PPA. That stuff sucks up a lot of water. This stuff doesn't really suck up that much water. Okay. Run this guy into the vacuum sealer, get him labeled up. Get our next order put together. All right, chat, here we are. Spinning like crazy, but as stiff as it are from my experience. PPSF, woof. 310C, I can't even go that high. These aren't even that capable of going that high. Boxing up our next order. Got a guy picked up 5 Megalodon magazines. Figured I'd go ahead and hook them up with the green carbon fiber front post sight. The fiber optic in there, looking really hot. Sick, dude. Clean, clean. Who's outside my house? Why? Just my neighbor. Doing neighborly things like bringing in the garbage can. Stuff that I myself would typically be doing. So we get this fiber optic carbon fiber front post sight. Tossed in the Megalodon magazine order for free. Also going to hook them up with some pellets from Jim, 235 grain airgun pellets from Jim and Texoma Precision Pellets, just to get them started on the right track. Pretty much every single person that I've ever given an order to, it's very likely that they've gotten something free just because I'm very give it away style with my stuff. All right, guys, we've done a hell of a lot today. This morning, gotten all the printers absolutely calibrated, rocking and rolling, and getting some lucrative prints cut off to our customers. Hopefully we'll be able to get into some more shenanigans next time, but if you like this stream, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the channel as well as when these streams come out. If you really like what you saw today, make sure you share it so other people can see it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.